Tazria-Metzorah. Two very difficult portions, and they deal with a disease that doesn't really exist today. According to the sages, it existed in the time of the Holy Temple, the first temple, and it was a malady which struck people for speaking slander. It was a physical disease that had a spiritual, psychological source. And the message it teaches is that each of us has a treasure or a weapon, depending on how we use it. The gift of communication is specific to the human being. When the Bible says in the beginning of Genesis, Vayitzer Hashem Elokim et ha'adam, and the Almighty created the human being, afar min ha'adama, dust from the earth. And that God breathed into the nostrils of that dust from the earth, vayipach bo, nishmat chayim, the breath of life, nishama, a part of God within the human being. And that's the highest soul, the neshama, the part of God within every human being that lives beyond life, just as God lives beyond normal lifespans. God is eternal. The part of God in each of us is eternal. Vayehi ha'adam lenefesh chaya, and the human being became a living creature. Targum Onkelos, the most accepted interpretation, the first Aramaic accepted translation of the Bible. What does it mean, a living creature? Ruach Mamalala, a speaking or communicating spirit. What expresses the image of God within us is our power to communicate, our power to speak. And we can use words to teach great lessons. And we can use words to say hateful things. Speech is a uniquely human gift and treasure. And speech is a unique human weapon if used incorrectly. Now, there are actually 3 prohibitions within the general term of slander. Rechilut, Lashon Hara, and Motzi Shemra. And there are 3 different prohibitions. Rechilut means just speaking about someone and telling information about someone that it's nobody's business to know about. Do you know how much money he makes? Do you know how much he paid for that house? Do you know what that car cost? It's not necessarily negative, but it's nobody's business. It's someone's personal information that you happen to know, but that you certainly should not spread. And that's a negative prohibition. The second is lashon hara, evil talk, saying something negative about someone else. Now it may be true, but nevertheless, you have no right to express it. Do you know he was indicted? Do you know he's been having an affair with someone else? Do you know, I heard that he has embezzled and he's up for indictment. It may be true, but it's not your business to spread it. It's not your business to tell it. That's the second prohibition, worse than the first. And the third is worst of all. Motzi Shemra. Saying something evil about a person which is not true. And there's nothing as powerful as a word. There's a Yiddish expression that before you speak the word, you control it. After you speak it, it controls you. Once you've said it, you cannot take it back. And a wrong word can destroy another human being. And that's why one must be so very careful about what one says. Obviously, the best thing is to make certain that you don't talk about people. Talk about ideas. Talk about books. Talk about events. But don't talk about people. Because it will invariably get you into trouble. But the most important thing of all is to do to others what you would like them to do to you. None of us wants to feel that people are talking about us behind our backs. And the basic rule is, don't say anything about anybody else that you wouldn't be happy to say to that person himself. Shabbat Shalom.